It's Thursday, June 27th, 2024. Frank, House of Orange Sports Channel. Two things you cannot change this week. Tennessee baseball, they're your 2024 national champions. Last night, 16 teams made the mistake of passing on the man, Dalton Connect. My boys, the Lakers, took advantage, took him at 17, got the steal of the draft. My wife made the comment last night, said it was almost like we won the national championship all over again with my reaction, the way I was acting when the Lakers got Connect. Cannot stress how excited I was, but I'm excited for this one. This topic today, I've seen people on different websites that I follow around. Hey, well, what about Tennessee recruiting? What about Tennessee baseball recruiting and stuff that's out there? There's not a lot on it. Well, guess what? Right here's the place for it. Right here is the place for Tennessee baseball recruiting. Now, I'm going to use, a lot of mine from these websites. Perfect Game is a good example. Perfect Game is where I'm going to get a lot of my information from. But if you're a recruit, if you're a guy who's signed to Tennessee, I'm going to put it out here so we can kind of build this as the Tennessee baseball channel. If you want to come on, talk your recruiting process, talk why Tony Vitello was here. If you're a player, former player, I invite any on. Will anybody come on? I don't know. But I want to put the invite out there that this is a place where it's going to be the most in-depth, thorough brand for Tennessee baseball. I'm going to cover this like everybody covers football around. And I'm not talking about YouTube channel. I'm talking about like anything. So, yeah, let's get into Tennessee baseball recruiting. I entitled the name of this video, The Start of a Dynasty. Well, if you look at, according to perfectgame.com, Tennessee has the number one ranked recruiting class in college baseball right now. They are number one. Their player average is not the highest. LSU has a higher player average. Virginia has a higher player average as well. But, Tennessee does have more signees than LSU. They have 24 commits, and so LSU has just 17, but they have 10 of them in the top 100. Based on perfectgame.com, Tennessee has 9 in the top 100. Now, of course, what do we have to worry about with that? Well, looking at the Major League Draft and the rankings for that, Tennessee has 8 guys in the top 300. That's for the Major League Draft. That's not including I'm not including guys on the current roster. I'm including signees. 8 of the top 300 right now are listed in that. Now, you start getting those middle rounds with high school guys, the odds are they're going to come to campus. But first few rounds, if they come off the board, they're probably not making it to campus. And I think Tennessee's going to have a good idea ahead of time. If some of these guys especially put a high asking price up there, teams are going to have to meet it or they'll come to campus. It's a little bit different now that you could, of course, make a little money. You can develop. Used to, you had Vandy with the Vandy Fund giving out 27 scholarships where everybody else had 11 and a half to deal with to spread amongst all their signees. So it's a little different now in regard with NIL. NIL can help with that scholarship money. But getting into this, so the main guys to watch out for Tennessee, according to their recruiting class, and I'm going in order of their rankings according to perfectgame.com. So they're number 34, and their top ranked prospect coming in is Anson Siebert. He's a right-handed pitcher, 6'8", out of Overland Park, Kansas. Number 35 is Levi Clark. He's a catcher out of Marietta, Georgia. Ty Southscene, I hope I pronounced it correct. He's a shortstop, ranked 37th out of Henderson, Nevada. I'm going to get into some of these positions. I think it's pretty interesting. I love what they're doing here. Tegan Coons, he's out of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 177. He's actually listed as the top-ranked draft prospect out of the group. Arnold Abernathy, number 57th ranked shortstop, 5'10", North Cobb High School in Ackworth, Georgia. Trey Snyder, shortstop, Kearney, Missouri. He's ranked 65th. Braden Krenzel, Dublin, Ohio, 6'3", right-handed pitcher, ranked 79th. Manuel Marin, I hope I pronounced that one right. Hialeah, Florida, 87th ranked. Jackson Walker, Loudon High School, Lenoir City, Tennessee. He's ranked 95th. So that's your guys in the top 100. What stood out to me on that, and I'm going to go one further here. Chris Newstrom out of Phoenix, Arizona, ranked 115, another shortstop. What do you notice with all these position guys? You had one catcher, one outfielder, the rest are shortstops. So you look at it last year, if you go back and look at that signing class from last year, you had Dean Curley, you had Ariel Antigua, you had some other guys in there as well. Your best athletes on a baseball field normally play shortstop, or they normally play center field. Looking at that, my guess is Jackson Walker is a center fielder. His scouting report says on him, let me find it here. It's so based on his, it says, I had this earlier. 6.40 60-yard dash. That's pretty good. Hits about 100 exit velocity. Says he is a outfielder, left-handed pitcher, and first baseman. Strong and compact build. Very good runner. Primary outfielder on defense. Has athletic actions to the ball and fields the ball cleanly and comfortably. Makes accurate throws with fair arm strength and carry. So left-handed hitter. Throws hips early and hard, can get disconnected out front, fast hands, jump time off the barrel. Says leadoff hitter, center field profile, excellent student. There you go. That's kind of what I expected reading on that. If you go through each of these guys, I could spend all day doing this, but for time purposes, I won't. But how these guys, kind of play out with this class. And then, talking about it a little bit as well. If you look into 2025, Tennessee has the third rated recruiting class. They have multiple top 100 guys. For 2026, right now, Tennessee has the second ranked recruiting class for that. They have 9 high school commits, 5 are top 100. So that's as far as it goes right now. So you look at that. You look back at 2023. Tennessee had the fourth ranked recruiting class in 2023. 2022, they were 6th. You start putting these together, guys. You couple that with the transfer portal. You couple that with the culture that's being built in Knoxville. You couple that with the coaching job that Tony Vitello, Frank Anderson, Josh Elander, Parker Serrano, Richard Jackson, all these guys are doing to build this program. This thing's got Dynasty written all over it. Now, I say that. Does that mean in succession? I would not doubt Tony Vitello and his staff. I still think it's going to matter of time when Tony Vitello's contract extension is announced. I wonder what those Schlossnagel going to Texas, though, if that's not changed things a little bit in that regard. But from what I hear, he's going to get a nice raise. His staff, he's going to get a nice pool to compensate his staff. Now you got to keep in mind at some point, when does Josh Elander get his opportunity? What dominoes are going to happen with this Texas A&M job? I don't know. I've not seen who the candidates are from that. I did see somebody mention Clemson's coach possibly going to Mississippi State. And that makes you then wonder, could Clemson try to contact Elander at that point? I don't know. It's speculation. You don't know what could happen. I don't know that Bakich, I can't remember how you pronounce it exactly. I don't know that he would go to A&M, and I don't know what their board is. So most of that's premium content. My premium content, I'm going with Perfect Game to help cover recruiting a bit. Now, some of this as well with these rankings does not include the JUCO rankings. I know you just had the JUCO signing recently. Crabtree, he's already on campus. He was in Omaha taking that in. He's a guy I think will make a difference next year on this team. The question's going to be with this class, how many of these guys make it to campus? A top-ranked class, it looks great on paper, but, if half of them go to the draft, what it is. Looking at the Major League Draft rankings and going through, I'm trying to fit a lot in here, so just bear with me on this. Looking through right now, the signees. Now, this was as of June 13th going through. As far as the signees, this is perfectgame.com, major league draft rankings. The highest one they have for Tennessee is at 86, Tegan Coons. That's right out of Gettysburg, 86 prospect. If there's a number there to match, you got to think there's a possible chance he doesn't make it. Arnold Abernathy, who's listed on here as an outfielder on the recruiting class, he's actually listed as a shortstop. He's ranked 57th on it. So according to the rankings, he is 94th overall. Got to think there's possibility on that one as well. The next one, again, I counted 8. Anson Siebert is actually ranked as the highest commit signing in this class. He's ranked 117th in terms of the draft. Again, this is according to perfectgame.com. I keep saying that, but going on down the line here as well, 151, Ty Southseen out of Nevada, another shortstop. 159, Levi Clark, that's the catcher out of Marietta, Georgia. And of course, you got to factor in guys on the current team, which I've talked about a lot. Jackson Walker, that's the outfielder out of Lenoir City, he's ranked 236. And I saw a couple more because I went all the way down to 300. Trey Snyder, shortstop out of Missouri, ranked 274. And then Manuel Marin out of Hialeah, shortstop, is ranked 300. Now, with the Major League Draft only being 20 rounds, trying to think, 30 teams? So that's 600 picks plus compensation picks. You're looking at upwards of, 700 picks in there, give or take. And I think with a lot of these guys, you saw it last year with Jake Rucker's brother, Carson Rucker, was drafted like 4th round. Tennessee's run into it a few years. They in that signing class with Christian Moore and Blake Burke and Drew Beam, these guys, you had a dude, Ryan Spikes, who was drafted. He was a 5-star infielder as well. He was rated, I think he went rated even higher than Christian Moore did, possibly. But they met his number, and he signed with Tampa Bay in that class. But, looking back on last year's class, I think it's pretty interesting as well because I wanted to see how those rankings kind of played out with it. For 2023, their top guy was Matthew Dallas. Well, Matthew Dallas is in the portal. Now, Cole Eaton was the next guy. We didn't see it. He's already playing summer ball. I think he come in as a two-way guy who's going to project, though, as an outfielder. And then here's where I got into talking about those positions. You had Dean Curley, Ariel Antigua, Blake Grimmer, who's one of all three listed as shortstops coming in. Then you had Braden Sharp, Derek Schaefer, Stone Lawless is a guy we'll hear a lot about next year with he and Cannon Peebles, and probably Charlie Taylor if he comes back to play, if he doesn't coach. Camden Bates was the next ranked guy listed as a shortstop. Rucker, he was actually rated 471. He was a lower rated one, but he 4th round to Detroit and gone. So most of these dudes on here, the overwhelming majority were listed as shortstops. There were 2 guys listed as outfielders, Holden Bronner, Jeremy Comer. Everybody else on here position-wise, Cole Eaton's listed outfielder. He is two-way. So this team has an approach with, if you look at it, most of these guys listed as shortstops or projects as center fielder as far as their fielding goes. They've got an eye for what they want, and it's athletes, guys who can do a bit, who projects well athletically, and who are movable. If you can play shortstop, if you can play center, you can play anywhere else on it. Of course, your catchers are your catchers. They're hitting that each time. Stone Lawless, I think, will be a good one based on his scouting report. He had a very positive scouting report. And, it remains to be seen now, does Levi Clark make it to campus? That's going to be a lot. There's a lot to look at here over these next couple of weeks with Tennessee baseball, with the draft coming up, with Tennessee now hitting the portal, where they've really not been able to hit the portal for a couple of weeks because they're trying to win a national championship, of course. But Gavin Keelan, one of the top guys in the whole portal, Tennessee still in that one. I heard Eric Kane talking about he was supposed to visit Texas A&M. You got to think with all that going on now, he probably won't, since they don't even have a coach in place yet. Of course, Tommy Lepore from Wichita State. Everything I've heard, they seem to be in pretty good shape there. So now it's going to be who else makes it to campus along the way. I wouldn't expect this program to go just portal heavy. I mean, 5, 6, 7 guys possibly. I'd say give or take in that range. But I would expect they're counting on their build of the program is based on their high school ranks and then developing these guys. That's how they've done it the whole time. They added Billy Amick. They added A.J. Causey. They added Nate Snead, Chris Stamos this past season. They added Cannon Peebles. But as far as transfers go, I would expect a similar route. I would expect they'll count on a lot of these guys progressing next year. That's going to be the Tennessee way. That's how they're going to do it with pitching and with that. They'll get what they need out of the portal. But, a lot of how many of these guys here, this will be Tony Vitello's, if I'm not mistaken, highest ranked draft class coming up. And it's still looking good for the next few years as well. Tennessee baseball has a chance to start a dynasty. Now, you have coming back next year on this current team. Is there going to be some drop off? I mean, I think it's natural to think that because you just had the greatest team in SEC history. I don't think it's arguable at this point. All they did, share the SEC title, SEC tournament, national championship, first number 1 overall since '99 to win that. This program is still rocking and rolling. You saw all the players come out this week tweeting, present players, past players, about, there's even guys who probably didn't play as much as they wanted. They're still tweeting, best decision I ever made coming to play for Tony Vitello, Josh Elander, and these guys. They're putting that out there, especially with these Texas A&M guys in the portal. I'm curious to see, does Tennessee swing for the fences with a few of these guys, because there's some good players in that portal. I hate it for Texas A&M. I don't have a problem with them. It really stinks, and I think it's really sorry. It's coming off like everything that's gone down. Not only your coaching staff leaving, but then all of your players hitting the portal as well. If I'm a player, I don't know why I would follow that. But, I'm not one of the players, obviously, and I can't speak for them. But I would watch what I just played against and was just beaten by. You can beat them or join them, sure. But do I want to follow a coach who just left his program high and dry? And there's some pretty heavy shadiness behind it as well. It's the SEC for you, man. It's cutthroat. It's similar. It's plain as that out here. But there's a lot coming up on here with baseball. Like I said, I really want to hit that baseball hard on here. Any players, any future, past, present, you have the open invitation. Contact me, Orange Swarm, theorangeswarm10@gmail.com if you're interested, or leave me a message on here. I don't know that any listened. I'll be honest with you. I'm not being naive to think I'm the go-to for it or nothing like that. But, if any do catch it, you're interested, coming on, talk about your process, talk about the program, man, I would love to have you. Love to have you on here on it. But about 18 and a half minutes in, a little longer than I expected, but a lot that I wanted to cover on here today. And then, we'll see where it goes forward. All right. It's, I don't have anything on the table for now. Dalton Connect's a Laker. If anybody else does happen to get drafted tonight, I'll cover something on that. I don't expect that. But, in the meantime, Tennessee athletics, it's an everything school right now. This is going to be an everything channel. We'll cover everything. All right. Is what it is. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. We love our Vols. Go Vols. And I'll see you when I see you.